So you grew up in South Africa during the apartheid,
Yes.
and there was a lot of conflict going on. And I'm sure Nelson Mandela was a big part of that season, and you had the pleasure of meeting him and setting up his post prison interview. How was that experience, and what did that mean to you?
Mandela, when I was a kid growing up, he was in prison already. And our South African media wasn't showing his face at all. So it didn't carry his images with all forms of media, television and newspapers. We had no clue. I had no clue how he looks like. I knew his name because Winnie Mandela kept his name alive. And obviously, South Africans were always talking about him and the whole world. Watching him when he was released from prison, I was actually kneeling in front of the television, so close to it, wanting to take every detail of his face, his smile, his eyes, the way he walked. It was that long walk from prison to freedom that captured me. And as I was sitting that close and watching him on television, I actually whispered to myself softly that I want to meet this man, but I don't know how. I didn't realize at that time that God hears our whispers and answers our whispers. Because not long after, a few months later, I then joined the biggest broadcaster in South Africa. And I was instrumental, I was one of the people instrumental in setting up that interview, which was his first sit down interview with the media.
Okay.
And then later on, uh, I then became the head of international acquisitions, which ended up heading the 80th celebration, the celebration of Mandela, which was also the same day he married Gracia.
Wow, that's powerful. That even God hears your whispers, and He's like, "Yes, I want to give you the desires of your heart." Sounds like a Bible verse.
Amen. Amen. It does. It
Yeah.
does. Yeah, because it was not even a declaration. It was not even I didn't even realize that was a prayer. I
Mm-hmm.
just said it because I didn't want everyone at home to hear it. Because I was so close to the television, I knew it was only me, my ears that hears that. But I was not
Mm-hmm.
alone. God was hearing that as well, and He answered that.
That's so powerful. There's been times in my life that's I've said some things or had some desires that it's just kind of off the wall. I want to meet that person. I want to do this thing or that, and years later I look up and go, oh my goodness, like He answered
Uh-huh.
that
Yes.
desire of my heart. He's such a
Yes.
good father and so encouraging, and hopefully that encourages people that are listening to this that God does hear you and He wants to bless you, and it brings Him joy when you're realizing that as well.
Amen.